Paul, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so tell us a little bit about what the Barclaycard Ring Central Community is.
Yeah, well, as you mentioned, we work in an incredibly commoditized market around credit cards, and there's very little product differentiation. And we're trying to use social and community in a way to disrupt the market. So the concept that underlies Barclaycard Ring today is that we will build online financial communities that both participate in and benefit from the collective performance of the community. So what does that mean? Well, today, what underlies the Ring product is a very, very simple credit card product. It's one low rate. There's no intro rates. There's no rewards. It's one low rate. Just for background, the average rate in the US today is about 15%. The rate on this card is 8%. It's not $7.99, it's 8%.
It's very transparent.
Yes, exactly.
When you set out with this statement and you were really trying to drive people to this new reality of the 8%, how hard was it to bring internal teams along? I mean, again, 320-year-old British bank, I mean, I would imagine there are one or two established practices there.
Yeah.
How did that work?
So, I still remember the day when I walked into my boss's office, the CEO of the company, and I said, I want to create a product that's half the industry benchmark from an interest rate. I want to share profit generated by this card back with members. And in order to do that, I want to share the company's P&L associated with this community up on the website every month. So after this long, uncomfortable pause and a somewhat nervous chuckle at the end, he said, "You're kidding, right?" And I said, "No, I mean, this is what it's going to take to change the mindset, to make sure that community members start viewing this as trusted content, right? Trust in the banks is at an all-time low. People are trusting their friends and their family more than the brands that they interact with. And we need to figure out how to become vulnerable and to be able to be incredibly transparent with community members in order to gain and earn that trust."
Tell us a little bit about, you've been at this for a little while. Tell us about some of the early results.
Yeah, so we just celebrated our first year anniversary.
Congratulations.
And so we're very excited about that. And we've just learned a tremendous amount. It's a little two sides of this, right? On the one side, the acquisition has gone slower than we initially thought. And we've learned a painful lesson that I think a lot of companies have learned over the last year, and that's that social media does not equal direct response marketing, right? You have to earn the right to sell. I tell people recently, I've got to get better at dating, online dating, right? You have to date someone for a little bit before you ask them for their hand in marriage. And credit card companies, I think, traditionally want to marry somebody on the first date, right? Take my credit card, here's my application, get them right to the thing, get them out.
And they stop you wherever you are in the airport to make sure that happens.
Yeah, exactly. You're right, they beat you down. But that's not what social media is about. It's about earning that right to sell. It's about building that relationship. And so we've learned that painful lesson. So we're learning how to do the acquisition side of things. On the flip side, the engagement level in the community has been remarkable. It was exactly what we had hoped to see, but we weren't sure whether or not we were actually going to be able to produce it, right? So community members answering other community members' questions, coming up with innovative ideas about how to move this to the next level, starting discussion threads that are just fascinating about how should we service this product or different ways that we can incorporate the community. So we're very excited about that level of engagement. The proof is in the pudding, right? As I said, it's still very early, especially in a credit card world, but we actually are seeing the dial move. So if you look at those people that are our super users, a small handful of folks that are incredibly passionate about credit cards, go figure. But also people that are just engaged in the community, that are making posts, making suggestions. Those people, their performance is significantly better than both the industry average as well as just the community as a whole. So we're starting to see some of that shift, I think, in consumer behavior. We're also seeing retention levels that are significantly better than anything that we see in the industry today. So it's a little too early to declare victory, but we're starting to see the proof points manifest themselves in lower complaint rates, better NPS scores, the tangible things that you talked about. Where's the ROI?
Yeah.
Well, the ROI will come, but we're starting to see those small little steps that sort of justifies the proof in the pudding that gets you to the ROI that you need to make all of this work.